For years, this programme has been creeping ever closer to the idea of the perfect smart home of the future. A place to live where every appliance, every item is connected, controllable and intelligent. Well, this week we're at a show home in central London where one company has pulled everything together to create a smart and smart-looking home. Come on in, coffee's on. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill kit, this is all top-of-the-range stuff, and the place doesn't even look that smart. That's because everything is hidden away, including your controller, which of course is a tablet. Now, the house comes with its own app, which means at the touch of just a couple of buttons, I can get ready for the perfect night in. Lights, blinds, and projector. Now actually you can control anything from anywhere just by touching the room on the floor plan on the app, which means you can do anything from set the temperature to make yourself a cup of coffee. Now, of course, you're going to want to build yourself a state-of-the-art cinema room too, in which to view all of your movies in the highest quality. Now, the entertainment system in this house is run by something called Kaleidoscope. And what you do is you pop your CDs, DVDs and Blu-rays into the system, and it will digitise them in full quality and then distribute those movies around your house. So you can watch them on your TVs, your tablets, or, if you must, on this enormous cinema screen. Now the interface you get is bespoke too, and you can see as I navigate around the movies here, you can see it looks pretty good. What's also interesting is as you call up a film, you get extra information that you wouldn't get if you just popped the Blu-ray or DVD into a normal player, and that's because the team at Kaleidoscope HQ are busy adding information to every new disc that comes onto the market. But there is a quirk to this system that is perhaps a sign of the times that we're moving into. Although Kaleidoscope does rip the Blu-ray to its hard drive, it won't play the content unless the disc is still in the machine. And that is obviously to make sure that you don't borrow someone else's disc, rip the content, and then give it back to them, which is, of course, illegal. And as we are all starting to think more and more about getting digital copies of our content, that does raise a few questions. Andy Moseby is a digital media lawyer, and he joins me in this rather cosy viewing room now. Andy, hi.
Hi.
We're moving into an age then, as I say, when we're considering taking digital copies of our media, or possibly not even buying a physical disc, but just downloading or streaming movies. And it seems the rights we have over the content we pay for are changing. Is that right?
That is right. Most people probably don't realise it, but rather than when you have a physical copy, you're allowed to do things that you can't do when you have a digital copy. When you download a digital content, you're downloading that subject to the terms and conditions of the platform that you downloaded it from. And that comes with a whole host of restrictions of not being able to sell it on, not being able to lend it out to people, and really restrict what you can do with that digital version.
Why are the movie companies doing this?
Partly because they are concerned, particularly with films, that if they enable people to have digital versions that they can spread just as they could a DVD, it's very easy to rip that to their hard drive and make that available to thousands of people worldwide.
But of course it is incredibly easy to rip a Blu-ray as well. If you go to many pirate sites, you will find Blu-ray rips as well as DVD rips. So
for the average person, it is more difficult, and that's one of the challenges that digital rights management is facing, is that it might not do what it set out to do, which is stop piracy. Actually, what it does do to the ordinary consumer is make it more difficult to have a seamless service. What consumers want to be able to do is to take their digital content and use that in a way that they would do their physical. So be able to put it across numerous devices around the home, share that as much as they possibly can. just as they would do with a DVD or a Blu-ray that they can hold in their hand.
The movie industry, I guess, are attempting to solve this by giving you an option to download a digital copy of a movie when you buy a Blu-ray, a system called Ultraviolet, aren't they?
That's right. I mean, it's all about engaging with the consumer and still having the digital rights management there, but trying to give the consumer what they want, which is to be able to watch the digital version on the devices around the house. And Ultraviolet, the way in which that works is you're given a code, so you go online, once you've bought your Blu-ray, type in the code, you get to have access to the digital version at the same time. So it's a good step in the right direction towards good digital rights management.
If you do have a Blu-ray disc, is it legal to rip the content to your own server, your own hard drive, for your own personal use?
Technically, no, you'd be in breach of copyright for doing that. Now, the government have looked at this, and so the law is changing, and they've proposed some new legislation that they hope will come into effect in October that says that if you own a physical copy, you can take a digital copy of that physical media, and as long as it's for your personal use, that's fine. You can put that onto a range of different devices. But that will only apply to digital content that doesn't have DRM or some sort of copy protection attached to it.
So basically you're talking about making it legal to rip CDs because DVDs and Blu-ray have copy protection. So the law is basically only coming up to date with what a lot of people have done anyway, which is rip their own personal music collections to their music players.
The difficulty is that technology advances far quicker than the law ever will. And so the law is generally playing catch-up to technology. But what that means is that it's open to businesses to look at the technology and see if there's a way to get round DRM or make better DRM that gives the consumer a better experience, and then you won't have to rely on the law. The law is there and says these are the things that you can do without the consent of the person that holds the rights. But if the person that holds the rights gives you the consent to make it available to other people or to copy it, then you can do that.